It is no secret right now that the stock market is down, but the real secret is, how do you make money when the stock market is down? Do we have to sit here and just lose money and wait and sit on our hands for a better, brighter day that will come, hopefully, eventually? Well, that answer is probably not. And there is at least one strategy that we can use right now to make a little cash as the market falls. But what is it and how exactly does it work? Let's go ahead and break it down. There is a high-level strategy using what is called put options to make money as the market falls. However, it is not for everyone. So what I want to do is set the scene, okay? Tell you why it ain't for everyone, how it works, what are the pitfalls, what mistakes you want to consider to avoid, and what is the thing that can kind of keep you safer, okay? Because the market is going to be the market, okay? But I'm going to work with me here, all right? So here is the thing. When I say kind of keep you safe, putting that in air quotes, all right? I would highly consider using a simulator. Simulator means a testing environment. Charles Schwab did this very well back when they had Thinkorswim. I believe they still have this. And that is a place where you can learn first. Now, when you get out in the real world and you're trying this, the market's the market. Whatever you make, you make. Whatever you lose. Okay, so I want to be very clear there. But it is better to learn as much as you can in a safe environment where you can lose fake money than get out there and lose real money and learn that way. All right? Can we agree on that? Okay, so that is what I would do first. Okay, so I'm going to give you the high level learning here and how it works. And if you want to do it, go learn in a simulator. Whatever tactic you want to use and whatever style works for you, go learn in a simulator. Got it? All right. Now, what you do after that's on you, but I just go test and simulate. All right, so that's number one. All right, number two, what I did and what I found works for me is that I typically don't use option trading for long periods of time, and I definitely don't use it with a whole bunch of money either. We're talking 3-5% of my overall portfolio at a time. We're talking just little chunks. Option trade, did it work? All right, great. You know, just kind of throw it there every now and then. We're not talking, hey, let me take my whole portfolio, throw in some options, see what works, and then come back. No. Okay, I don't know many people that do that. All right, so we're talking sprinkle here, sprinkle there, testing in the simulator, understanding your process, getting your recipe the way that you want it, and then running whatever your specific process is. And the last thing I'll say before we get into what it is, because this is extremely important, is I would say that this is more of a medium to advanced tactic. Now, if you are somebody who just started investing yesterday, I don't think this is for you. I would save this video because you may need this skill later, but definitely somebody who has been doing this for a little while, and again, medium to advanced. All right? Letting everybody know that, because I think that is extremely important. I want you to, hey, I just got my first stock yesterday, and then you're going to go right off the deep end into option trading. No. It's not what I would do. Okay? All right. Now, what are put options? A put option is a contract. Okay, it's a stock contract. And what that is, a put option specifically is a contract that you, in this particular case, you would own, and it is saying that you have the option, you have the choice to sell a stock at a given price. Now, you are buying that contract for a price. And let's say you bought the contract for $1. Okay, and it says that you, the owner of the contract, you are able to sell shares of Walmart, 100 shares of Walmart at $100. Right? Now, let's say that today Walmart is $100. So for $1, you get to sell 100 shares of Walmart at $100. Cool. Okay? Walmart's $100. The contract says you can sell it for $100. No big deal. The contract right now is worth $1 because that's what you pay for. That's not truly worth a ton of money to you because you selling shares of Walmart for $100 and the contract says that they're equal. It doesn't matter to you. Now, if Walmart goes above that, and Walmart goes to $110, $120, does it really make a whole bunch of difference for you to sell a stock for less than what it is on the market? No, because why would you sell a stock for less than what you could do at the market, right? Who does that? You would be taking a loss, so that your contract is probably worth less. That is not helpful, right? So if the stock that you bought the contract on is doing well right now, that's not helpful. But today, and what is happening so far in the market, the stock market is down. So this is an environment that might be more helpful, which gives you, the investor, more options. So let's look at a scenario where the market could be down. I'm just picking on Walmart. This is the first stock that came in my mind. So let's say that Walmart is now $80 per share. And there's someone out there that's like, Walmart's down $80 a share, and if I sell it, I'm going to lose money. But there's someone out there who has a put option contract, and they can say, look, I want to sell my shares at $100. You out there, you have that put option contract, and I can sell it for $100. What if I can get that contract from you? Your contract that you bought for just $1 is now worth more money. That is where you would sell your contract to that person, obviously just like you would on your app. This is all automated. You're not going to know that person. You don't need to contact that person for obvious reasons, right? When you buy and sell a stock, you don't know exactly who you're selling it to. That's what they do. That's what the apps do. But you sell it, they do that transaction, and you make more money. If Walmart continues to fall, so it goes down to 50, your contract is worth even more. See how that makes sense? Because you say you sell it for 100, as Walmart continues to fall, the value of your contract becomes more attractive, because you say you get to sell it at $100, and if it goes down to 50 or 20, that $100 looks way more attractive. Now the catch here is that contract does expire. It says you can sell it for 100 up until April 20th or May 30th or what have you. So there is that. Okay, so you do need to pay attention to that part of it. But super, super high level. Okay, I'm simplifying this because I wanted to spit in 15 minutes. But that is kind of how it works. You buy a contract for a price, and you want that stock to continue falling below that price. So what do you need to know as an investor? So essentially, I want to buy a put option contract on stocks that are trash and that I expect to continue to be trash for, I won't say the foreseeable future, but definitely for the next, let's say, 2 to 3 months. I'm going to give you a short list here of stocks that I would think are going to continue to do badly, and ways that might backfire as well. For example, you probably don't want to do these on penny stocks. I wouldn't do it on stocks that are quick to flip, like a Tesla. Like, I think right now Tesla is probably going to continue to be bad for the rest of the year. But we have seen how that can flip on you, right? So that's not one I would do. But for example, let's say on semiconductor. In the last 6 months alone, that stock has been down 44%. Thermal Industries, TMO is the ticker symbol there. That one's down 21%. Pfizer, that is one that I've talked about before, down about 15%. I've talked about how I don't like a lot of drug makers just given the political environment, and just also that stock hasn't been good for years now. That might be one of the perfect ones, right? Any company that really take what we've talked about in the past around what is tariff resistant, right? And then flip it. Which one is most hurt by tariffs? Think of a Ford, right? This is not, saying that these are the ones you want to shoot for, but who's going to be hurt most by tariffs? Who's going to be hurt most by all this chaos and all this stuff that's happening? Shoot for them, right? Those are the ones that might be the most vulnerable and are likely going to slide. Maybe that's where you want to go and say, hey, give me a put option. I think this stock is definitely going to fall, and get you a put option there. Let the stock fall, and then that contract may become more valuable. That's essentially how this works. Now again, you don't have to buy the stock. You're buying the put option contract only. All you're doing is buying the contract and selling the contract. That's it. You don't have to buy the shares. You don't really want to buy the shares because we think the shares are going to be worth less. So you don't have to do that. That's a even more advanced tactic, and probably an even more risky tactic that I don't want no parts of that. Okay, but that's essentially how it works. Now again, what I also do is, number one, I would really want to go back and emphasize using a simulator. That's number one. Number two, I also want to emphasize using smaller amounts of money to do this. I don't think that using very large portions of your portfolio, especially for extended amounts of time, makes sense. I really want to emphasize that. And then number three, for me, what I do in the moments and times that I do these particular types of trades is I try and shoot for a consistent amount of profit and or loss. Meaning, let's say if I'm trading $10,000 or even $1,000 or something like that, I am shooting for, in the case of 10,000, I'm shooting for 5% profit or 1.5% loss or something like that, just to give you an example. Meaning, I'm consistently putting in $10,000 every single time. If I hit 500, that's what I'm getting out. Or, if it's over 500, great, but my first 500, that's what I'm getting out every single time. As opposed to, I'm gonna sit back and I'm up X amount and I'm just gonna sit back and just let it ride until the wheels fall off, and then it is what it is, and I'll get out eventually. These are not stocks. Okay, I'm going to repeat. These are not stocks. They are quite different. And they are different because these do have an expiration date. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, depending on how it's edited. These contracts, you have to, the stock has to be below by X date, or by a certain date to be more specific. So they don't perform exactly like a stock. Okay, so that's one reason why they don't just go up and down in the exact same way. So you want to be very careful there. So for me, I want to get the profit that I'm looking for and get out. If it's more than that, perfect. Also, if I lose a certain amount, I will have what's called a stop loss. So I'm comfortable with losing X amount. That's what I'm getting out. It is what it is, and I keep moving. So that's just how I operate. So I know going in, I'm either going to make X amount or I'm going to lose X amount. I'm going to hold until one of those two things happens first. That's how I operate. That's not how everybody operates. Now, I teach, how I do it, my entire process in my more advanced platform, the Investors Toolkit. That's, conversations for another day, but that's just super, super, super high level. There are other people who do this all day, every day, but just want to, dip my, as I'm pointing my finger, I don't think you want me to see me dip my toe, but you guys get the point. Just letting you be aware of that option, pun intended, I suppose, that is something that's out there for more intermediate to advanced investors in a time like this, if that's something that you want to look into. So just wanted to put it out there, give you a high level, and give you that base level understanding should you decide to venture off into that, deeper end of the pool. Do you have to do it? Is it something that's required? No, it is absolutely not. Currently, today, I'm not doing any put option trading. Will I go back in the simulator and just kind of freshen myself back up and kind of get those muscles working again? I may. If the stock market continues to dip, it really depends on how April goes. I might have to, just to, get those gears turning and make up just a bit more profit. We'll see. You guys saw yesterday what my returns were. I'm not upset by that. I'm not thrown off by that. There were some stocks I would get rid of. And honestly, based on some of the stocks I currently own, if I could switch out some of those, KKR, and get more O'Reilly's or even more Netflix's or more Costco's, if I could do that and continue the rest of the year like some of those other stocks, I might be fine. And I'm not too far behind where I need to do that. So, I don't feel like I'm in a position to where I have to do option trading or anything like that. So that's just where I am. But if you're interested in it, consider a simulator, and then we can, discuss more in video format. Or there are other platforms that talk more about option trading specifically on that. So let me know what you think. I want to give you, again, super high level on how it works, just give you the concept, and then the deeper details I can refer you out to other places. If you want to know more about the stock market and how it works and what's going on right now in the market and the economy, you can check out these videos right here.